Welcome back, everybody, to Church Insider. This is going to be the third edition of What Really Happened, and probably the most exciting of all of them. Now, I'm going to put this out there right now. If you have not finished Secrets of the Gold Wars Volume 2, I wouldn't watch this video yet, because my book does a very good job of describing what happened. And I'm basically going to be just talking about it from my perspective and how everything happened. So, if you read the first part of the book, then you know all about the second part of World War II. But that's not its official name. Its official name is the Manipulation War. And we will get into the reason for that in this video. So, it all started in July of 2018 at Water Safari, which is a weird place for something like this to start, but that's how it started. So basically, the Gold Wars were over at that point, and there was no sign of them coming back. And I was at Water Safari with Israel, and we were talking. And that's where everything started. Strong Silence also had some things to do with it, but not super important. So we're just going to leave him out of this for now and focus on that day in particular. So basically what happened was me and Israel wanted to get the Gold War started up again. Now, of course, that's difficult to do because, as we know from World War I, me and Israel together are very strong and almost unbeatable in the Gold Wars. So, us deciding together amongst ourselves that we want to start a Gold War is not going to be appealing to anybody else. They're not going to want to go up against the team of me and Israel. Even if it's everybody else, they're not going to want to do it. We've created the alpha files and all sorts of very difficult clues that they're not going to be able to decipher. So we originally started thinking, how are we going to be able to do this? Then I remembered a letter from Strong Silence, and this letter basically said you should start keeping tabs on people. In case another Gold War starts up, you want to know who you want on your team. So I told Israel about that, and then we started discussing, what if we had essentially a fake war in which we can control events to figure out how people will react under certain situations? Then we would be able to basically keep tabs on them, and after that, the plan is to start World War III. So, how are we going to do this? Of course, that was pretty much what the entire day was talking about. Of course, we were having fun going on rides and all sorts of stuff, but we were talking pretty much the entire time. You have long waits at Water Safari, so the entire time we're talking about how we're going to do this. And what we came up with is that we need it to look as natural as possible because, people pick up on things. They've been in the Gold Wars for a long time. People do sneaky things all the time. And so we need to make this not look like anything. Look like a typical Gold War and how it's going to start. So that was the first thing. How's it going to start? We decided that the gold has to be stolen. So we have a few options. One, we can try to make somebody steal it, which is difficult to do. You have to convince them that it's a good idea to steal the gold and risk everything. Not the best option. It just doesn't seem like it makes any sense. Two, you can wait for somebody to steal it. Probably not going to happen. So then we started coming up with the idea. I'm not sure if it was me or Israel, but one of us came up with the idea. What if I steal it or Israel steals it? And then we sue them, and boom, sides start to form. Because in the Gold Wars, people have alliances, and they know what team they want to be on. So we're hoping, this trial creates a big rift, and then everybody just kind of separates, teams form, and then everything happens from there. But who's going to take it? Is it going to be me or is it going to be Israel? We decided that Israel would take it for a couple of reasons. One, it would not make sense at all for me to take it because I was just starting up Level Tech. I was happy where I was at. Why would I take the gold? There was also some things going around that the gold was actually mine. So if so, that could get messy in a trial. So we decided, yep, Israel's going to take it. Now, we need this trial to look as real as possible, is what I told Israel. So Israel needs to go all out, try to win this trial. And because if it was real, he would have to go all out because, if he loses this, then it's going to be really bad. He's going to lose his job at Level Tech, all of this stuff. So, he tried as hard as he could. The one thing we could not have happen was it backfire and that we could not find any proof. So, the best part, my favorite part of the manipulation war was staging the gold being stolen. And it was amazing. Basically what we did was we had Israel go in. I set up one of my security cameras, which everybody knew I had them. And basically Israel looked around. He saw the gold, and then he covered up the camera. Of course, that was all filmed. I was right there behind the camera, but of course you can't see what's happening behind the camera. So he's trying as hard as he can, and then I pull out the footage at the trial. It looks suspicious the way he does it. He's got his hoodie over. It was really nice. In fact, actually, I'll play it so you can see it. But yeah, we did that. It was also in black and white. It was really dark in there. It was perfect. Everybody knew where the gold was too. So anyway, that happened, and sides then immediately formed, which we had a feeling could happen. So now let's go back for a second to Water Safari still, and that is where we talked about, okay, what's the next plan? We had a lot planned out because, it's hard to talk and people not get suspicious. So we needed to plan a lot before this thing happened. So the next plan was the Alpha Files. The Alpha Files trial was very interesting. I'm going to see if I can find it in here, which I'm sure I can. Just so I recall it correctly. But basically, this is what created the rift that separated people. Unintentionally, it created a rift for people. And, hey, it was perfect. It was exactly what we needed. So, basically what happened is, way back when I said I was going to burn the Alpha Files in my speech when I was running for president. Because, they contain too many secrets. I never did that. And we're like, perfect, nail me on the Alpha Files. So basically what happened was the Alpha Files, I put them underneath the recycling bin. Of course, Israel knew this. We're in communication with each other. So our plan is to get everybody into that back room, and then Israel finds the Alpha Files, gets really upset. Everybody's there to witness it. It looks nothing like it's staged. Of course, I'm a fairly good actor, and so is Israel, so we played it up a lot, and nobody could tell. You're not expecting us to do this type of thing, so you're not suspicious anyway. And so that was really fun. So then we had the trial, and before the trial, I'm like, Israel, you need to go all out. I'm going to go all out, and it doesn't matter who wins the trial. If I lose, if you lose, it doesn't matter. Either way, it's going to create this separation between us. So we go into the trial. It is an extremely heated trial, the most. And even though we were technically on the same team, even though we weren't, it got heated. There wasn't a lot of acting going on. Israel genuinely got upset, and so did I. And that's what made it work so well. We went into it and we're like, hey, we need to win this trial. Each of us, we're counting on a win. So I ended up winning the trial, and actually during the trial, in order to continue my point, I had to declare war. So I declared war in the middle of the trial, which, mass chaos is what happens in Gold Wars, and that was a moment of mass chaos. Everybody's like, what? Can you even do that? Of course, there's no rules that says you can't do that. So I did that. I ended up winning the trial. Israel acted mad. He was mad, I think. And then, he remembered, okay, yeah, this is not real. But I still need to look mad. So Micah was his lawyer. And actually, was it Elijah? Let me quick look here. Because that's a key point that I need to look for. Yes, Micah was his lawyer, and that kind of separated a little bit. So Israel and Micah kind of went their way. I went my way with Austin, which left Elijah and Aiden kind of stranded. What were they going to do? Elijah's like, I'm going to start my own team. And we're like, okay, sure, you can do that if you want to. Aiden really wanted to join my team. I said no because I already had Austin and Abry, and I don't like a lot of people on my team because, you tell one person a secret, they said it to another person, and a bigger group, you have a better chance of a double agent on your team. So I like smaller groups. So I said no to Aiden. Aiden then joined Elijah's team because Aiden and Israel have always had this type of, butting heads between each other. So there was no way they were going to work good on the same team. So that left Israel. And Micah, you would assume, but no, Micah said he was going independent. He's going to be his own team, which kind of left Israel. Is he going to be his own team? So Micah declared himself an independent person, not a team. He was not a team. Israel, on the other hand, was an independent team. So a little bit different between them. Honestly, they're very similar. They did work together throughout the manipulation war, and honestly, after the Alpha Files trial, most of it was not planned. We just said, let whatever happen, happen. We're going to keep our eyes open to see how people react. Of course, there was a few other staged events. But I think we're going to end this one right there, and we can get into a couple of the other staged events in what really happened, the fourth version. Because there still is quite a bit more that happens. But that's the gist of the beginning, the water safari trip, the legendary water safari trip. And we've went on that trip every year after. So hopefully the virus is done by then, and we can go again. And who knows what's going to happen on that trip. But yeah, a lot of fun for us. I don't know about everybody else who was a part of it. Looking back, they were all going all out, and it's actually a fake war. Of course, Gold War 3 never actually started, although it should maybe be starting up. Of course, right now, with the situation, it can't start. So, not great. I've talked about that the Gold War stock is plummeting because you can't have a Gold War, and in the foreseeable future, there is not going to be one. Same with Leveltech, not much has happened. Of course, the Church Insider stock is doing great, and so is Spontaneous. So those are the ones to get into. Of course, they're expensive, but they're worth it. So that's it for the third edition. Be watching for the fourth. It won't be coming too much after this video is posted because, this is kind of like almost a part 1, part 2 type thing. So you're going to want to see the second part. But I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for overview at 20, the big 20. So, thank you guys.